welcome back to Liquid Lunch. We're live, obviously, here at Dundas Square, right? What's right behind us here? It's me, Hugh, and Priscilla's my co-host today.
What's up?
We got an awesome show underway here, and we're speaking to Mafalda Oliveira, who's the owner of AnamiRoots.com, which is, it's a yoga-related.
Owner and yoga instructor.
Yes,
Yeah.
yoga instructor. Yes, it's located here in Toronto, Lansdowne and College area. I started about maybe a year ago, Anami Roots brand, and but I've been teaching here in Toronto for over 3 years now. I started with small groups in the Portuguese community, mostly because my background is I'm Portuguese. I came here to Canada 4 years ago.
And your English is so well. Just thinking about like
you.
if I were to go to China and try to learn, Chinese, I don't think, or Mandarin, I would say, it wouldn't be too good. But I mean, you're here in Toronto and you have your own business and you speak English so well. So did you practice back home in Portugal, or did you learn your education here in Toronto?
So back home we have English too. We learn English, but it's a little bit different. It's English from England, right? So when I got here, the accent is so different, and the way that people speak here, it's so much different. But I got used to it really fast because I got a job at Second Cup that I had to, learn right away, because dealing with customers, I had to, right?
Yeah.
To practice. And I try to surround myself with people that are from here too. And I like the fact that I'm here in Toronto because of that, because of the diversity of cultures. So you can learn a lot of things about a lot of cultures, right? And when it comes to yoga, the same thing. It's amazing how people, every culture, everybody does yoga, right? Here in the city. But yes, I've started in the Portuguese community exactly because of that. Most of the Portuguese and Brazilian people, they come here and they don't know the language whatsoever. So they don't feel comfortable enough to go to a studio and take a class there where you have 25, 30 people taking a class in English, right? So I did my first teacher training back home in Portugal, and I was 17, 18 years old.
Wow,
I
so
love
young.
it. Yeah, I love it. I fell in love with yoga really, really young. Everybody was telling me that I should do yoga, but I was a dancer. So I was like, nah, yoga is for old people. I will never do yoga. But then eventually I went to university, and I was taking tourism in university, and it wasn't the thing that I loved the most, right? Even though I love to be with people and different cultures and everything, it wasn't that, right? It wasn't that I really feel passionate about. So I went to a yoga class, a hatha yoga class, Spanish instructor, and she was amazing. I love it. So I quit university and I did the teacher's training there.
You followed your heart.
Yeah, I did, absolutely.
I'm just curious, what brought you to Toronto from Portugal?
So the economy back home is really complicated right now. You guys know, like Europe, it's the opportunities are not the best right now. So what happened was I left my mom's house really young. I was 19 years old. So paying bills, working 2 jobs, following my passion, trying to teach yoga at the same time. I was volunteering in a school, a primary school. So I was teaching two classes of kids, like 40 kids at the same time. Mm-hmm. It was an amazing experience. I did that for 3 years. It was amazing working with kids. But at some point I discovered that I cannot live like this. I need something else. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to go back to school and study more and travel too, right? And in Portugal I couldn't have that opportunity whatsoever. So my mom's friend, she's here in Toronto, and one day she went to Portugal on vacation, and she was like, why don't you try Toronto? There's a lot of opportunities there. You never know. So I came here on vacation. I loved it. I was like, okay, I have to do something about my life, so I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna study there, right? So I came to UFT to do environmental studies, which is absolutely expensive for an international student. It's really complicated to do that. So once again, I quit my university course and I followed my passion again, and I went to do another teacher training here at the Yoga Sanctuary. which was amazing. And I discovered another thing at that point. We had 2 pregnant ladies in our class, right? And working with them was really interesting. And I thought I knew how to teach a class to a pregnant lady, but I decided to take a course about that, right? So I went for a prenatal yoga course at TorontoYogaMamas, and I totally recommend. They're the best. And yes, now I'm certified prenatal yoga instructor too. So what I'm doing is with Anami Roots, I'm teaching already prenatal. I'm teaching a lot of Portuguese and Brazilian people still in Portuguese,
And also English speaking
and
people.
and also in English as well. Yeah, I started with Portuguese, but eventually I started expanding and promoting myself to in English, because some people were asking me, and I'm like, why not, right? I'm here in Toronto, so why not? So yeah, now I'm trying to bring private classes to people's houses and to offices, corporations. I find that they are the ones that need it the most, right? Because when you have an office job, you can be really manipulated by society, and you find yourself in that routine, and you don't want to leave that routine. And when you educate your kids, you teach them that as well. So I want to break that, right? Break that, especially here in Toronto. This is huge, and there's a lot of corporations here. So yeah, I want to focus on that, kids, youth, and pregnant ladies.
So Anami Roots, that sounds very interesting. Can you tell us a bit about that title? Anami Roots. Why Anami Roots?
Yes, since I was a kid, my grandfather's brother, he never called me Mafalda, right? He used to call me Anami. So Anami, it's like Anna Mafalda combined.
What is
right?
it?
Anna Mafalda. Anna Mafalda, it's my name, right? My first name is Anna, the second one is Mafalda. So he used to call me Anami. So my mom, she always made our own clothes, right, when we were kids. And she used to brand our clothes like Anami, because that was my name, right? And after that, I just that was my nickname, you know, and it just stayed. And Roots, I'm a tree hugger. I love nature. I just absolutely love nature. So it just came out like out of nowhere. One day, a friend of mine, I was looking for a name, and I was designing my logo, and I was just like scratching it on a piece of paper, and I'm putting some roots, and in my logo it's dancer's pose, because I used to be a dancer before. And then I just put some roots and some branches.
What
right?
is your logo? Can we see your
we
logo?
have a look at it. Actually, it's on the computer here
Let's do that.
that we can have a look at.
So did
Not
you
that
design
one,
that
the other one.
yourself,
The website.
Mafalda?
I had the idea, and then my sister, she was the one that created, actually.
What? So your sister made this logo here?
Yes, she did.
There we go. So that's what.
Yeah.
That's the logo, and that's the website, and it looks great.
Thank you.
And it shows you as a dancer too, right?
Yes, yes. So yeah, my friend, he was like, Anami Roots, that sounds perfect. He was, and it suited me, and I love it. I love it. So I just adopt that name, and yeah.
Now, I'm interested in your. Do you have a studio? You mentioned it's near Lansdowne College,
Yes.
but where is it exactly? And maybe you can describe it for us.
So it's a home-based studio. What I did was, every time that I go to a class where there is like 25 to 30 people, I don't feel really connected to the teacher or to the practice, right? So I find that, especially because I started with Portuguese and Brazilian people that don't feel confident enough to walk into a big class like that, I started doing yoga at home, right? And teaching yoga from home, and at the park sometimes, or people's houses, but mainly in my house. So after that, I thought, why not to do this like for real, you know? So I moved, and now one of the bedrooms, I turned it into a small yoga studio. So I teach maximum 3 people at a time, right? So that way I can get to know them, see their evolution, and mostly because some days you're having a good day, some days you're not having a good day, right? So your days are gonna be different every day. So one day if you walk into a yoga class and you're feeling really down and you need energy, if I only have 3 people at the class, I can just, you know, improvise the class there and change it up a little bit so I can attend to the person's need, right?
Well, plus from a, you know, someone who's taking the course with you, obviously they're going to get a lot more personal attention, and it's a much more low stress, low key, less pressure environment. I mean, I know I would feel better in a small class like that than in a big room with like.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then people become like a family, you know? There's 2 girls that they've been doing yoga with me since I got here, basically. And it's amazing to see their evolution since the beginning. One of them, now she's pregnant, so she's taking different classes, prenatal classes with me. And then in the future, when she has the baby, she can do mama baby yoga, right? So it's amazing for me to see their evolution as a person, as like a family member, as a friend, you know, and they all together they start to know each other because the classes are so small, right? So then they create like a network there, and they just connect to each other, and they start, you know, even in their own lives outside of yoga. They build friendships.
Yeah, that's awesome. And maybe like for people that like when you talk about the evolution of them, not just making new friends and stuff, but through the yoga, like what kinds of benefits do people have from doing yoga? Maybe people watching have never done yoga. Like what's going to happen to them when they start doing yoga?
So first of all, they're going to learn how to breathe. That's really, really important because most of people, almost all of us, we breathe with only 10% of our lungs, right? So we have to learn how to breathe with the full capacity of our lungs. And in the class, you're going to learn that. It's the very first thing that you're going to learn in a yoga class. After that, you start learning some breathing techniques for you to sleep better, for you to have more energy in the morning. The asana practice it's going to give you strength in your body. It's gonna make you more like stronger for you to be able to enjoy better your day, right? At work, at home, and also it's going to lead you to be able to sit in a sitting position where you can meditate, and we work on that too. So I do a little bit of a guided meditation, some grounding, I connect them. I teach them how to connect to their guides, their angels, whatever you want to call it. So to have a little bit of more of a spirituality too, you know, not only if I don't like to think about yoga like a lot of people think as a fitness practice, you know, a really physical practice. It's way more than that, and I like to bring that to people. And again, that's what I find, that when you go to some studios, when there's a lot of people, you can get that from the practice, right? There's an amazing physical workout, but
it's more than that, right?
Yeah, it's
I think the
more
breathing thing is really important, and I think not enough people understand how important breathing is. They're not even aware that they're not really breathing correctly, and so that's you're saying that's one of the things people are going to learn to breathe correctly, right? And use more than, what did you say, 15% of their lungs, or
10%.
Yeah.
They usually, it's the average, 10% only. Yeah.
So that's really cool. Now we also have some products that you have here. Maybe we can look at them, and maybe you can. These are products that you make and provide to people or sell or whatever. Do you want to just tell us what some of these are? We got the big round thing.
This looks really comfy.
It's a bolster, so
Really
it's used to meditate. So you just sit there, cross-legged. It's better for your back instead of you sitting on the floor, straight on the floor, right?
This one here. So what do you do? Sit on it?
Yes.
So you make this yourself, or do you bring it to a factory? Or
Yes, my dad, he owns a factory back home. So this year when I went to Portugal on vacation, I was like, why not to do my own products, to make them, you know, and to sell them online and
Yeah.
at my studio as well.
So what do you call this?
So comfy.
Bolster. It's a bolster.
Bolster. What's in it? It's got some weird cushy something
it's
in there.
like you put on the pillows.
And there's beautiful tops, and you're also wearing it one. It's really,
Yes.
really pretty.
Yeah,
So
but it's
those
got the
ones
logo on
really
it, right?
nice.
Yes, they
Yeah.
have the logo and they're hand painted.
Wow, hand
yeah.
painted?
So I it's print screen, but at home, right? I'm doing it myself.
Oh,
at
yeah.
home.
You got it yourself.
Yes.
Wow.
That's really
Yes.
nice.
Very talented young woman we have here. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I love to combine
nice.
my
Wait.
two worlds, to arts and yoga together too.
Do you have a print screen
Yes, I
machine
do.
at home?
I have just a frame. I brought it from Portugal, so
Oh.
yeah, I'm doing it myself. It's better, and it has my energy in it,
Right.
right?
Yes,
So
that's
it's
so
completely different
important.
than taking it to the
Okay.
store.
So we have these products, the tops, the
the
pillow,
bolster?
and,
then
the yoga mat.
The yoga
Anything
bag,
else, or is
yeah.
that it for now?
For now, that's
I
it.
love this
I'm
yoga
working on
bag.
a bag, just like a bag for you to carry your own your personal stuff,
Yeah.
Very
your
nice.
wallets, and yeah.
So that's great. So this is your full-time thing, and you're done school?
Right
this is,
now it is.
Yeah.
I'm not done school completely. I'm thinking about going back to do Thai yoga. So I incorporated already a little bit of Thai yoga in my classes.
Yeah.
Some adjustments. Some people, I have a student with fibromyalgia. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Fibromyalgia.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
like a language.
Yeah.
But what happens is some students, they are not able to take a yoga practice as intense like other ones, right?
Yeah.
So even though I try to teach a hatha class that it's soft, is a little bit softer for them, sometimes they need a little bit of help when it comes to adjustments, right? So Thai yoga, it's amazing for that, and I really want to learn more about it. So that's gonna be the next step. Yes.
That's cool. Okay, so now, so people who are watching this, who maybe they want to, they're resonating. Maybe they want to take some yoga in the small environment that you provide, where they get the personal, hands-on care. Like, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
So through my website, they can actually AnamiRoots.com. They can actually send me a message through there.
Yeah.
And or through my cell phone. I'm not sure if I have it on my website, but
But you can give it out right now.
yes, it's 416-550-9023.
Okay.
If they don't have it, just go through a website, and then I'll send it through email, and we get in touch. Because I'm doing this full time, when it comes to schedules, I'm pretty open to work out a schedule with the person.
So somebody can call you, and you will just, you guys will just connect on what's best for them,
yes.
and what, and you're flexible enough
Exactly.
to help to work with them,
Exactly.
right? Is there an email address that you want to give out? You don't have to, but I'm just
Yes,
asking.
it's Anami Roots,
Yeah.
gmail.com.
Okay. AnamiRoots@gmail.com. Great. Well, this is awesome, Mafalda. I love your logo, and
Thank you.
Really
it
gorgeous.
sounds like you got a
Really pretty.
real great approach to the business, and it sounds like, for a lot of people, this is the perfect way to get started on yoga, getting their health turned around, getting their breathing, getting their core in shape, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Again, their
So that's-
spirituality in check as well.
Oh yeah, spirituality, forgot about that. Okay, so
Yeah.
thanks for coming in today and doing
Thank you
this.
so much for the opportunity.
Okay.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
So we're going to take a little break. I'm not sure who's next. Are we going to have Abazar or Nico?
We're
But-
having Nico next.
Okay. So Liquid Launch continues here on ThatChannel.com. We'll be right back.